Region North.
Welcome to Uxbridge Scugog Life. I'm your host, Jackie Hermans, and this show is for you and your community, the community of Uxbridge Scugog. Maybe a little bit obvious since it's right in the title. If you've been watching the show, I walk the trails. I walk the trails with my dogs, and I just wanted to give you the heads up that trilliums have been popping up. Right now, you've been seeing the greenery of the trilliums everywhere, and I'm seeing some buds. So by the time you are watching this, we could have a beautiful trillium fest going on in the trail. So you need to get out there. Now, today on the show, it seems to be the home show. That's what's happening this week. So we have an architect, a local architect, who's going to be talking about how we can visualize everything before making the move and creating those big changes within your home or creating your dream home. We also have Lorelei Interiors, and she's going to be talking about what goes into deciding your window coverings. And a local real estate agent is going to show us how we can absolutely love our home and some simple changes that we can make. So all the rooms, when you walk in, you're like, this feels like home. So make sure you keep watching because it's going to be a great show. And if you want to be on the show, make sure you send us an email. All that and more, Uxbridge Scugog Life. We'll be right back.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Think it's okay to drive high? Think again. Drug-impaired driving is as illegal as drunk driving, and in Ontario, the penalties are the same. If police suspect you're driving under the influence of drugs of any kind, or a combination of drugs and alcohol, and you fail a roadside test, your license will be suspended immediately for up to 30 days. You'll pay a penalty of $198. And you can be charged with a criminal offense of impaired driving, the same as alcohol. Driving high is never okay.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. Now, my next guest grew up in Uxbridge, always knew she had a fondness for art and math. She went to school for 8 years to become an architect, came back to Uxbridge, is raising a family, and also has been building a beautiful architecture business. So, Haley Weatherby, it is such a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you for coming.
Hi, thanks for having me. Neighbor?
Yeah, neighbor. I just discovered that. That is very cool. We're just around the corner from each other. I know where to go when I need some.
Yeah, there's Uxbridge for you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, how long have you been doing your business for now?
So we opened HB Architecture 7 years ago, and I was just working from home. Actually, I was working at a Tin Cup, and I'd go see Donna, and I'd spend days loitering there and drinking their coffee and doing my projects there when it was just a one-man show. And then since having a few successful projects at that point, we kept growing and growing, and we're a staff of 8 now, and it's busy, and we do a lot of residential work around town. So about 2 years ago, I guess, we bought 88 Brock Street, just 2 buildings up from Rutledge Jewelers there. And we set up a storefront, and it's been really good. It kind of takes the attendance towards a broader spectrum. It's not just the same people I have on Facebook that are coming to us now. Now it's people that we don't know around town. So it's been good.
Oh, that's amazing. Congratulations on your success, the growth of your business. That's amazing. Now, so you help people to design their dream homes or even to alter, to add on to what their current homes are. What would you say is your biggest peeve in working with clients when you give all of your design ideas? And what's that big peeve?
When people change their windows. Sometimes you put really nice tall windows with really nice mullions and you drive by and they have the double sliders and white vinyl and you're thinking, crap, that's not what we were envisioning. Nothing against white vinyl double sliders, but there's some facades, it just doesn't work. So when the windows get compromised or they get smaller or the proportions change, sometimes you're shaking your head thinking, shoot, I should have put this, has to be this on the plans.
Yeah, well, you know they're not going to be the photos right there on your website then, right?
That's right. They're not making the cut.
Now, you use a pretty cool tool to help people to be able to envision what, when they're picking the stone and they're picking the windows and to be able to put it all together and visualize that. Can you tell me about that tool?
Yeah, and we often say feedback and negative feedback is really good. I think it's hard for clients to verbalize what they want. Architecture terms are kind of tough. People say modern, but does it mean like a glass box modern, or does modern mean like everything's put away in cupboards? Or then people say traditional, and does that mean stone? I feel like the vocabulary of architecture is hard. So when we have this 3D modeling software, it's really great for clients to see what they like and dislike in visuals. The photos and the imagery speak really nicely, so you can nod to it. And we also find it really successful in between husband and wife. Sometimes the missus is thinking something and the mister's thinking something else, or whatever the family makeup may be. But sometimes people are thinking different things but talking the same language. So having that photo in front of you, it's like, okay, you're thinking this too. I was thinking different this way. And we find that helpful also with local builders. They're able to kind of, go to a house and say, you want an addition and it's going to be like this, or we're looking at Haley's imagery. Like we can put a price generally to that for this size and this many windows and this roofing material. And so our software, we use AutoCAD, like the traditional AutoCAD, but then we flipped into Revit, which is a 3D modeling software that helps show option A, B, C with just a quick click of a mouse, or yellow or blue, or your windows, are they white or are they black? So there's just a technical aspect that really helps people make a decision for an investment that's something you don't really change. Like you don't really go back and change your roof line. So there are things you want to work through and design appropriately before it happens.
Nice. I can see that being so incredibly helpful. I had someone work on our master bathroom, and I was explaining the way I wanted the tiles. But then when it was done, the tiles were not in the way I was describing them. So having that visual would have been so great. So we're like, we're on the page, right? We're talking the same thing here.
And imagine that was the front door and it was different shape or on the wrong side of the house. So yeah, you need those instructions.
Yeah.
So we did one really cool project on Cedar Street, 42 Cedar Street. So I have a video that I'm going to share with you that takes you a nice walkthrough of how that took from a heritage home, proposing a really modern addition on it, and then ending with the heritage home. Again, like it's kind of a sandwich with a modern portion in the middle. And I don't know, it's pretty cool. It was something you need to see before you'd agree to it.
Yeah, I drove by it and it is absolutely spectacular. So
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, take us through it.
Okay, so there's an existing heritage home on the front. It actually used to be Mrs. Wazalinki's house, so people have nice memories of that place. She was a iconic resident. And then in the middle, there's a glass shaft, and that has the stairwell and the elevator, and also a really nice dining room solarium. And then on the far end, we ended it with a nice historical home, which is a nod to the front portion. So it's kind of a three-part sandwich that merges it all. And it's a big lot, and we did use a lot of the footprint. The house grew 40%, so it was a huge addition. But I don't know, it's pretty wow on that corner, and it's different than other people do. So
yeah, I absolutely love it. I think you did a spectacular job. Haley, I'm so glad I got to have you on the show.
Yeah, it's great having you.
Okay, great. And if anyone wants to contact you, your website is hbeearchitecture.com.
Yep, that's us.
That's perfect. Thank you so much, Haley. We'll be right back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
Monsieur de Champlain, when I finish paddling through this wilderness and reach China, I shall greet them wearing this.
Monsieur Nicolet, your mission shall be for the honor of the king and the Holy Faith.
In the summer of 1634, Jean Nicolet set off from Quebec to find a trade route that would link Europe and North America with China.
But where is it?
Further. I know the place you are seeking.
For months, Nicolet pushed through the wilderness, searching for the Western Sea.
Goja! Mississippi!
What did he say?
He says, Mississippi, great water.
Mississippi, the sea, China.
Jean Nicolet was wrong. It was Lake Michigan, not the Pacific. But others would follow his dream: Joliet, La Salle, the La Vérendrys, and they would map most of North America from the Rockies to the Gulf of Mexico.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. With me now on the show is Leslie Valakat, who is a local real estate agent in Uxbridge. And I have known Leslie for, I think, about 15 years, because our kids have gone to school with each other. And the one thing that has always stood out for me about Leslie is her natural, creative design flair. Leslie, you're always doing something amazing in your home. There wasn't any time when I'd come into your home and there wasn't anything new. There was always something going on amazing in your home. So anyways, I'm so glad that we can use your expertise on the show here today.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
So I would love for you to share with the community of Uxbridge and Scugog how we can create a welcoming home that you just walk into your rooms within your home and you feel good. So what is the first thing that you would say to someone to be able to create that good, nice space? What's the first thing that they need to do?
I know a lot of people get lost with this and they ask me to come over and help them with it all the time. The very first thing that I tell them to do is just look around before you even get started and just declutter. Just sort of simplify your space, really connect with what you have around you, connect with what you really need. Does it have sentimental value, or is it important to you? And only keep those things. The other thing is there's so many solutions to, once you've narrowed it down, like tuck those things away. So I know many people that love to sit in their chair and read magazines, and they've just got a stack of them there. Well, get a nice basket and throw them in, and get a coffee table that lifts up and get your toys tucked away in there for the kids and that type of thing. And that just clears your space instantly.
Nice. I'm all about energy, as you are too, right? So as soon as you clear the clutter, it opens up the energy in the space and helps things to flow better. I'm not necessarily the best at decluttering, but it makes a big difference.
Oh, does it ever? Yeah.
So Leslie, what would you say is the next thing to do? So if someone is, all right, so I decluttered. Now I don't even know what the heck to do. I don't know what would look good. I don't even know what I want. What would you do next?
Well, once you've sort of got all the elements that you want to keep in the space, the other thing that I look at personally is, again, like you said, flow of energy. So is your couch sort of the first thing you see and sort of blocking the entrance when you come in? If that's the case, maybe we need to open up the space and just put a couple of chairs and move your couch off to the side so it becomes more welcoming and bringing yourself in. I've always said, people always tend to go onto HGTV and watch these shows and think, oh, I just need to do, this is the best color that's out in the market right now. I'm going to go bring that in. And they're just not settled or happy. Just really connect with what you like. And if you can't figure that out, then go on Pinterest and type in a couple of keywords that sort of get you into the right flow. Start some boards, carry those with you so that you're like, yes, this is it. This is the kind of feel that I want. So you're kind of asking your Pinterest friend when you're out shopping what things sort of speak to you and that you like. Yeah.
Now, before you go out and buy, because you've just decluttered, so before you go out and buy accents and things like that, what are some things that you should consider before bringing stuff in?
So Jackie, the best thing to do is just always just sort of really stay in tune of what you're bringing into your home and really connect with those things. I always say to my closest is only buy what you love. Just connect in what those things are. So do that. Just bring things in that you love.
And you liked, okay, so what do each of the rooms need to match?
Oh, not at all. I feel like your home, you should be, it should have a cohesive look, but it doesn't necessarily have to be matchy-matchy throughout. Actually, I hate the term matchy-matchy. So if you're bringing in the things that you love, then it's a matter of making sure that they're displayed in a right way that's pleasing to the eye. So I just have a few tips and tricks when you go through, but just make sure that you keep the flow going through. Don't block entrances. Make sure you let the light in. Nature is always good. Bring some of the outside in. Bring some flowers in, things that'll warm the space and warm your heart. Lighting is key. LEDs horrible these days. Keep it a lower Kelvin temperature so it's a warmer light and more inviting for you. Bring in textures and warmth through pillows and blankets and things like that. Keep your palette to 3s in colorings throughout your home so you're not overwhelmed with too much color and not understanding why it doesn't feel right, that type of thing. We have such a short time. I'd love to tell you more, but yeah.
Well, you know what? People might just have to bring you into their home so you can be able to share more with them.
Yeah.
So Leslie, if they're going to get a hold of you, they can go to your website, lesliebalakat.royallepage.ca.
Right.
Okay, fabulous. I think we have just a tiny bit of time. What is the number one mistake you see?
When going into somebody's home? Oh, yeah. Usually they have just too much stuff, or maybe their artwork's hung too high or too low or whatever, but
beautiful.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off. Okay, so watch out for that. Watch out for having too much and watch your artwork. And Leslie, thank you so much. We'll be right back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
Thanks, Jackie.
I'm Mallory, and I was walking home one night when an impaired driver hit me. He had been overserved in 2 bars before getting behind the wheel. If the servers would have called him a cab instead of serving him more alcohol, my life would be the same as what it used to be. I think servers play the biggest role in keeping us safe because it's up to them what state the person's in when they leave. Refusing service isn't personal, it's the law.
So happy to be back in studio for season 2 of The Social Life at a Distance. We're your hosts. I'm Ksenia Shpak. And I'm Stephanie Lorero, and we are so happy to be bringing you guys the latest trending news.
We want you to be in the know. What's happening in the world of sports? What's happening in the world of entertainment? What stories are trending online? We're gonna bring all that content to you and much more right here on Rogers TV.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. With me now is Chewy, who's biting his tail. You might even see Gracie at some point. But the real person I'm interviewing right now is Pamela Curl, who is the owner and operator of Lorelei Interiors. Pam, welcome. So great to have you on the show.
Nice to be here.
So how did you get into window coverings in the first place?
Completely by accident, actually. I actually bought the business from a previous employer. She was in town for a number of years, and I ended up working for her part-time. at some point, after 8 years, actually, I went and I took a course in home staging and thought, gosh, I love this. This is right up my alley, and I love doing this, going into people's houses and helping them make their houses fantastic. When the previous owner decided to retire, that's when she called me and said, what do you think? And I said, I'm in. So I've been doing it for just over 6 years now and loving every second of it.
That's amazing. Well, congratulations on that. That was so meant to be. That transition from working for her and then doing it yourself. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So when clients come into your store and say, or call you these days, and they say, okay, I need some new window coverings, what's the first question you ask them?
Probably my very first question would be, what do you want from the window covering? What is your end goal? Is it sun blockage? Is it privacy? What are we trying to achieve by putting a window treatment on that particular window? And each window, you have to treat it individually. It's not my whole house is going to be this, because each window has its own properties and function.
Right. You know, we've lived in our house for almost 11 years now, and we haven't done anything with the window treatments. And in our kitchen, we have glass sliding doors, and it came with these beautiful blinds, these fabric blinds that come down, and they are now splattered with spaghetti sauce and unidentifiable stains on there. I don't even know what's on. I can't get them off. So if I were to come into your home and you're asking for the function, that's probably one thing I should mention, is that I have messy family members that are probably going to be splattering things on there. What's washable?
Exactly. There are some products that you wouldn't scrub them, but you can spot clean them. You really don't really wipe down a blind. Typically, blinds they hang vertically. They're also treated with a non-static material. So typically dust will just kind of slide off of them, but yeah, spaghetti sauce, no.
Okay. Yeah, I've noticed that. I've also noticed in my bathroom, we have some horizontal, the plasticky blinds.
Right.
I find those are really hard to clean.
They do need a good wiping down. They are a maintenance issue, because again, now we're dealing with a horizontal surface, and we know all of our dressers, all of our tables are constantly dusty, and they're no different.
Yeah, I've noticed that, and I'm not the best cleaner. That's my problem. Do you have non-cleaning blinds? I guess the horizontal or the vertical ones are probably going to be best for me.
The vertical are probably your best bet. Anything that you can spot clean, because spaghetti sauce does get on everything. It's a spot clean. You just have to be careful with what product you're using to clean it with. Water is always your best bet, but then who knows? Then we could end up with water spots. Like, you have to be very careful, and that's what I take into account. Yeah, I take that into account for you. I try to pick up every scenario that could happen.
Now, do you also have to consider the outside of your home before choosing your window coverings?
Absolutely. Typically, when I drive up to a person, I stand outside in the parking lot, in the driveway, guessing what's beyond and what we're trying to achieve and what the general look of the house is. If you've got a lot of stripes happening on your house, do you want to add more stripes in your windows? Which way are we going to go? What's going to look best from the outside? And we worry more about the front of the house than we do the sides and the back.
All right, because even the color of the brick or the stone or the siding, that's going to make an impact on the color of draperies that you have.
Absolutely. And even if you're working in a condo, if you live in a condo, there's usually a regulation that you have to have white facing out. So that's another thing we have to think about when we're dealing in a condo.
Okay. What are some other things that you might ask a client before making recommendations?
Who's operating the blind? Is it children? Older adults, as ironic as that sounds, older adults can't manipulate some things because their fingers just can't do it anymore. So we have to be careful with what we're providing for them to be dealing with. Or if we go all motorization, does the one person that has the cell phone say we've hooked it up to Bluetooth. If it's hooked up to one cell phone, that means nobody else in the house can operate that blind possibly. So we've got to be careful with what we're choosing and who's using it.
And if, depending on how you're decorating a particular room, let's say it's going to be more modern or more country, is that going to determine what you're going to choose as well?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, color, function, all of that.
Beautiful. Pam, well, I could talk to you a lot longer about this. This went so quickly. Thank you so much. I'm so glad we could have you on the show. We'll be right back with more on Uxbridge Scugog Life.
I'm Eric Marchinosa's Cinema Scene in Review. Join me for a monthly movie roundup of new releases either in theaters or available to stream. See you next time in Review.
Hi, I'm Marissa Lynn, host of In Your Business. Join me each week as we follow the journey of entrepreneurs in Durham region. We'll also hear from experts who support businesses and help them grow.
Welcome back to Uxbridge Scugog Life. I don't know about you, but I have been inspired to make some changes around here. I'm going to be looking around at all the different little tchotchkes and things and see, does this really speak to me? What can I get rid of? And then see, sorry about the dog barking in the background, see how I can maybe spice up the room, bring some spring and summer into the rooms. So again, if you want to contact Leslie, it's leslievalicat.royallepage.ca. And it was super nice. How about this tail right in your face there? Gracie, I'm doing a TV show, didn't you know? Again, my apologies. We're doing this out of a home, so we're going to get that sometimes, right? So also Haley, she would be super fun to work with. So if you've always dreamed about creating your dream home or adding that addition, you can contact Haley, and that's hbarchitecture.com. Now, it was wonderful to talk to Pam as well at LorelaiInteriors.com. So you connect with her at LorelaiInteriors.com. If you're wanting to have some window coverings, you know what? We need some around here. I need to deal with the spaghetti stains that are on my kitchen blinds, draperies, whatever you call them. And my front bay window, we have nothing there right now. It's just a big, open, wonderful window. Come and look at us. But you know what? I love that sunlight coming in. And that's one thing I'll need to tell Pam is that I need that sunlight coming in my house. I'm not going for California shutters and making my house a dark dungeon. I need light, people. So I hope you've been inspired as well. And if you want to be on the show, send me an email, and I'd love to be able to talk to you about what your idea is and how we can educate the community about it. And even though Mother's Day has already happened, all those mothers out there, make sure you continue to nurture yourself. You deserve that. So this is Jackie Herman signing off. Make sure you catch us next week, Uxbridge Scugog Life.
Call the Rogers TV viewer response line, email us, or connect with us on social media.
You wanted to make a difference. You wanted to save lives. They call you a hero. But the truth is, it's not easy. It's hard to be strong when you see things you can't unsee. You know you're not the only one, but no one may ever truly know how life has affected you. Maybe it's time to reach out.